Greetings, greetings. Well, yesterday was fun. The video that we did yesterday, we spoke about goals, and I had a little task that I assigned to you to go check out how many thoughts you have a day because we think a lot. I want to dive into that today. Hope you're having a lovely evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. We'll dive into it just now, just waiting for a few people to hop on. So, I want to chat about your thoughts. Your thoughts. I love talking about thoughts. Yesterday, I touched in on it a little bit. Today, we're gonna dive in deeper because we just scratched the surface yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's recording, please go check out my YouTube video. We were talking about goals. We were reviewing your goals, how far you've come for the year. We did some rating to find out what percentage you are on versus what you had hoped you'd be on right by now. And we looked at distractions. What caused you to not attain those goals? And the major distractions that we explored yesterday were your thoughts, because we think a lot of negative thoughts that are blocking us from getting the things that we want. We looked at the planning or the lack of planning. We have goals, but there isn't much planning attached to it. And lastly, we look at your unproductive habits because there's a lot of habits that are stealing our time, and that time is supposed to be utilized in actioning the things that we want to action towards our goals. So that's what we looked at. If you missed that, it's on my YouTube channel. You can catch up on it. I loaded the full video. Thank you for joining. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Dumelang Sanbonani. So I want to expand more on thoughts because it would be of a disservice if I don't unpack and make you understand that the reason why we do not see the results that we like in our reality is because of how we think. And you need to understand your thoughts because your thoughts drive your reality. Your thoughts are constantly creating the reality that you see in your life. Think of a chair that you're sitting on, if you're sitting on a chair or a couch. Do you think that would have existed if it wasn't first a thought? Somebody has to think of something first before they can actually make it, right? So think of anything, look around you, and anything that you can spot and pick on, and ask yourself, would that have existed without it being a thought first? I'm highlighting this to you so that you become aware that your thoughts are the drivers of your life. And whether you knew this or not, it's better to know now than never, right? So if there's something that you don't like in your life, the first place to look into is how you think around that area of your life. I use simple examples like losing weight and people making money because people are always thinking of making money. We think of making money every day, but the question is, when you are thinking about money, what are you thinking about really? Are you thinking, I need to make more money, or you know what? I've been broke for too long. Where are your thoughts aligned? in order for you to change your situation, be it financially, any goal that you have, you need to look at how you think around it. So I gave you a little task yesterday to research how many thoughts we think in a day, because we think a lot of thoughts and we may not be aware of this. So on average, an adult thinks around 10,000 thoughts. Could be more, could be way more. I mean, there's people who overthink, could be less. But think about it, 10,000 thoughts. Do you even know what those thoughts are? Are you even in charge of them? In my previous video, I explained to you that you are in charge of your thinking. You can take charge of it. Some of us are not aware that we're in charge of our thinking. This is what sets you apart from the rest of the animal kingdom, because lions can't think like we do, but you can. So use that superpower. It's yours to use. So since we are thinking 10,000 thoughts a day, the question now is, do you want to take charge of those thoughts, or you just want to let those thoughts take charge of you? Because if you don't take the driving seat, those thoughts are continuously going to play in your head, and you are continuously going to see the results that you see that you don't like. And I went on and did more research around negative thinking. And I found that we have about 80% negative thoughts on average a day. So if you have 10,000 thoughts a day, and 80% of those are negative, and I just said your thoughts create your reality, is the math adding up? You are having 80% of 10,000 thoughts being negative. Do you think that the results that you want are going to show up in your life? I think not. And 90% of those thoughts are repetitive. So we are thinking 80% negative thoughts that are 90% repetitive. So throughout the day, when you're thinking negative thoughts. Yes, you may be conscious of the positive ones that you are thinking of, but are you aware of the negative ones? Because the reason why you don't have the results that you want, it's because of how you are thinking. So what are you thinking? Can you sit down and ask yourself, what are my thoughts on a daily basis? Because if you don't first do that, and you don't change that by deciding what thoughts you want to think instead, which are positive, you are continuously going to be spending 80% of your time thinking negative thoughts. Think about that. So let's go and write down what are the thoughts that we think about, the most important ones. And usually this is easier when you link this to a goal, a very important goal in your life. So look at one goal, ask yourself, what is it that you wanted to attain this year and you haven't attained it? And I want you to focus on how you think around it. Ask yourself, what are my thinking patterns around this particular goal, right? And be honest, because without that honesty, nothing is going to change. You are continuously going to be spending 90 repetitive thoughts, 90% repetitive thoughts around that goal, and those thoughts will be negative. So ask yourself, what are the thoughts and what are the positive thoughts that you would like to replace them with? I love taking notes. I always have my notebook everywhere I go. So take your notebook, do it now. Do it now. There's no better time than now. Take a notebook. Take anything that you can write on your tech devices. Use that. Start asking yourself. Think of three, just basic three thoughts that you are aware that are negative and can change. And you can change that now because change is up to you, right? So the best way to replace these repetitive thoughts, because they're repetitive. So every day we're doing this. It's like a circle. We're going around circles thinking these thoughts without changing them, and we keep getting the reality we don't like. So choose your thoughts. Think of three thoughts that you would like to implement in your thinking patterns and turn those into affirmations. Because either way, you're going to be thinking the whole day. So you might as well be thinking thoughts that you want to see in your reality. So turn them into affirmations and start training your brain to think of these thoughts on a daily. Every day, when you wake up, think of this beautiful affirmation around what you want to attain. I like making examples of money. So instead of thinking thought of being broke, think about thoughts of prosperity and think about how much you want to make, right? So maybe decide today how much more you want to make and then start thinking about that figure, start seeing it in in your dreams, in your when you're daydreaming, create a check in your brain, like visualize it. But without you changing your thinking, your reality is not going to change, right? Now we know the facts, we know that we have so many thoughts and we can change our reality just by changing the thinking. So let's change those thoughts. Let's turn them into affirmations. Let's work on focusing on what we want. A lot of us want to change our financial situation, but all we talk about the whole day, I see on social media, a lot of people are glorifying being broke. Why are we always talking about, oh, I'm broke, so broke? There's memes, there's jokes around being broke, and we go on and create and repost this content, and this is you reaffirming how broke you will be because you are not choosing to change what you are saying about your financial situation. So go on and ask yourself, what are you circulating on social media around money or around whatever goal that you want to change? And change that. You need to start focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. So if you're constantly saying, right, you say, I want to make more money, this is what you desire at your heart of hearts. But what you say when you're talking to people is, oh, I'm always broke. And there's more of those thoughts than the ones of the thing that you do want. Do you think the results in your life are going to reflect the thing that you do want? I don't think so. Because you're spending more time focusing on that which you do not want. I'm always broke. Oh, my bank account. I can I can share a lot of um jokes around bank accounts that I see on social media. I'm like, why are you even creating jokes like this? Because this is telling your mind that this is what you want and that's what you're gonna get in your reality. So for you to change anything, you need to focus on what you want and word it in a positive way. Sometimes you get on this awareness that you want to change your financial situation, but you are constantly thinking about the reason behind it. So you want to change and have more money because I don't want to be broke anymore. Your mind can't see negatives, it can't process negatives directly. So if you're saying, I'm doing this, I'm pushing so hard, I'm working so hard because I want to make more money, I don't want to be broke anymore, your mind keeps seeing broke because we tend to think more of those negative affirmations. And the more you're thinking them, the more you're gonna see them in your bank account, and you wonder why. So I just wanted today to highlight. the most important aspect of change, which is thoughts. And thoughts are the most potent frequencies known to mankind. You can think yourself to death, you can think yourself out of it. It's all on you. You are in charge. And now that you know the numbers, what are you going to choose? What are you going to change? What's your choice today? Make the choice today because tomorrow you'll be back to the same cycle if nothing changes. Because nothing changes until something changes. So that is all I wanted to highlight today around thinking is if we are to attain any goal, we need to go back and look at what we think about when we are thinking. I know some people find thinking not easy, but that's the most powerful superpower. That's like double power that you have and use it. It's free. You've got it. It's for free. So use it. And the best way to start is to write down the thoughts that you want to change and start working on it, right? And you'll see you start feeling good when you affirm positive thoughts and you train your mind to become conscious of when the negative thoughts pop up. And if you don't know which thought to replace the negative one with, it's continuously going to be in your head. So choose it. Choose what thoughts you want to replace the negative ones with so that when they pop in your head, you're able to quickly change them. I hope this was very helpful. Please um, inbox me if you have questions around it. I will post this on my YouTube if you joined halfway through. And I will be out for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.